Hi everyone. I'll continue my physics, nature's physics, or God's physics. I'm God. I speak for God because no one else would do it or had did it. So a dirty job someone got to do. Anyway, no matter what, even if I speak for God, my language is still a human language. And which part of a human language is closest to nature or closest to God? Then that's mathematics. However, even within the mathematics, some are natural, like in natural numbers, and a lot of them are not. Especially the continuous part of it. And taking limits, taking derivatives, and differential equations, and so on. These things are human. Why is that? It's simple arithmetic calculation, adding and subtracting and dividing and multiplying, and these things we may very well accept that as natural. But once you start taking limit, and people having trouble of something, Newton had the trouble, but he just didn't really care, or he thought it's fun not to care. And I'll talk about it later. When you make mistakes, you find treasure, you find new things. When you don't make mistakes, you don't get anything new. Newton at the time already have something is zero and not zero. That's Schrodinger's cat right there. Zero and non-zero. Dead and alive. The same time. So it's Schrodinger cat is nothing new. However, I discovered from the Schrödinger's cat the atoms of the same isotopics and the same elements, they aren't identical. That's a treasure. And our world is far more complicated. This universe isn't made of a few hundreds identical atoms or identical parts. They are even appear to be chemically, counting electrons and neutrons and protons, they are the same, but they are not. Where their differences appeared, the radioactive situation is one, and I think the biological, there are many evidences of atoms aren't the same. For example, we atoms made us as well. Our human body, the parts are atoms, and the twins, they aren't the same. Although their DNA the same, but their parts are different. Like you build the same house with the same design and the same everything, but different bricks or different nails, and then the two houses are not going to be the same. They're going to come out different because their parts are different, and then their parts may appear to be the same, or you do not see the difference. But once the house is finished, that's two different houses, even if their design, their blueprints are all the same. Okay, so what is the science anyway? is science just like a blind man and an elephant. We are trying to use human language to describe the universe or to tell nature's story. And even if we can't see, even for us to describe the shape or what elephant is like, we can only do a partial job. Even for the seeing person in front of an elephant using human language, it is still a blind man and an elephant. Elephant is too complicated. Our language is not enough to describe its shape. And a universe is even more complicated than elephants. So the limitation is right there. But however, what language is closest to God's language or to nature's language? And that's mathematics. And then only the natural number is the nature's language, because the continuity taking derivatives and needs it's a human invention, and because it needs the proof by contradiction. When you prove something by contradiction, logically, I guess it's okay, although some people do not like it. But in nature, or natural from nature's perspective, proof by contradiction may not work. The opposite of something is wrong. Doesn't mean the original is right. In our logic, we can certainly accept that, but in nature, not necessarily true. Like something glowing, does that mean black hole doesn't exist? Opposition exists. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. What else? Oh, biologically, this is far more complicated. Biology is far more complicated. Physics, particle physics, or chemistry try to explain biology. That's really a mission impossible. For different elements and different atoms, different plants and different animals may have the ability to select certain atoms they like. Like our human beings is probably the same. We eat so much food. Say suppose they have all kinds of elements in our food. We may only pick the ones we like. Say for example that we have irons in our food. We may not want every piece of an iron atom in there. We only select the kind of iron we like. So, of course, when we have no choice, that's something else. But we may prefer certain atoms, like certain plants. They may have that ability as well. Okay, so what make mathematics so it's natural? It starts from one. Ancient Chinese thinker Lao Tzu has that Dao De Jing. He has a formula called the Dao produce 1, and 1 produce 2, and 2 produce 3, and 3 produce everything. So things start from 1 is not something special, or it is something special in the sense that so far we only got mathematics. That is start from 1. And once you use the mathematics, a language that is started from built on 1 to try to solve the universe, try to explain everything, you're gonna end up that everything is also start from 1. Kind of like you swing a hammer. Everything you hit is a nail. So your conclusion, your understanding is limited by the language you use. Physicists use a lot of human languages. Certain things I really do not want to even get close, like superposition, like entanglement. What the fuck is entanglement? Pairing. Marriage is better than entanglement. Using a big word, elementary. You call something entangled, it's not necessarily entangled. That's just your description. You call something elementary, the same thing. It doesn't make that, I think, elementary. Anything with a property, with the nature. Okay, something sweet. It can be elementary. Something got a flavor. It can be. What makes that flavor? Unless you're not interested in that, asking that question. But the question is there. In order to answer the where the flavor come from, you have to break it again. So anything, as long as it is something, it is not elementary. And things are paired, or pairing is everywhere. That doesn't make them entanglement. Anyway, that's enough time. So I hope you get the Big Bang. Big Bang is inevitable. Because you use mathematics to describe the entire universe, you're gonna end up start from 1 point. Because the mathematics itself starts from 1 point. It's as simple as that. Even if you go a whole big detour, like a matrix and a curvature and a partial differential equations and a tensor and so on and so forth, eventually you're gonna end up start from 1 point. Because your language, your tool, as complicated as it is, it starts from 1 point. Mathematics, in terms of calculation, it starts from 1. In terms of geometry, it starts from 1 point. And that's it. And it's after you continue everything. Positive charge, negative charge disappears. South pole, north pole disappears. Everything disappeared. Everything become neutral. So you have to artificially add everything back. That's what Einstein did. Fortunately, there was a curvature for him to use. So gravity became curvature. And a relativity and so on. Just all that whether it's really how it is used, I don't know. Because science is fiction written in mathematics. Technology is non-fiction written in mathematics. Like both are talking about what the elephant is look like and use the language we have. And the language gonna limit you what you get. Mathematics start from one point, and if you want to describe the entire universe, and your answer gonna be starting from one point. That's inevitable. But in reality, whether the universe starts from one point, I do not think so. Okay. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll talk about the magic, the power, magic and power of mathematics. Okay. Bye.